Hi, we're so glad you're here. We are the Friends of the Seattle Public Library. Our mission is to elevate the library and inspire the love of reading in our communities. Our vision, vibrant and equitable communities connected through a flourishing library. The Friends was founded in 1939 when the Seattle Public Library Staff Association pledged to create the Friends of the Seattle Public Library. The pledge was fulfilled during the 50th anniversary year of the library. At the College Club, during a dinner with writers, teachers, civic leaders, and patrons on January 19, 1941, the president of the Chamber of Commerce presided over the election of the founding officers. The Friends Articles of Incorporation specified a mission of securing materials beyond the ordinary library budget and sponsoring projects that would be of special service to library users. The first annual meeting was convened on December 8, 1941, with more than 1,000 members. In 1950, the Friends supported a $5 million bond measure with brochures, community forums, and sent 42 speakers to 200 social and civic clubs. In 1957, the Friends supported the drive for a new Washington State Library building and encouraged matching funds for a federal aid program for library services in rural areas. In 1960, the Friends served as tour guides for the new Central Library. The first book sale began in 1971 with a collection of private donations of used books in barrels placed in the library. The Friends donated a fair amount of money to the library every year, and this was a big reason for the Friends fundraising to make grants for the library. The book sale would go on to become the primary fundraising for the Friends. The book sale in 1977 targeted purchasing mobile media center equipment and buying books for the children's department, supporting research on African American literature to provide a good list to interested readers. The year after, the library had accumulated more than 50,000 volumes it had retired from circulation. The city allowed the Friends to sell those books on consignment basis, with 60% of net proceeds going back to the library and 40% to the Friends to use for library-related projects and gifts.
In 1979, the Friends inaugurated the Friendship Award, now the Friend of the Year Award, to recognize and honor the most outstanding volunteer. The 1980s were big for the Friends because Virginia Burnside established the Seattle Public Library Foundation to increase outside financial support for the library, stating that the library was an underappreciated, undervalued resource, a neglected child in Seattle's giving. In 1982, the Friends transferred funds to the foundation to support the library's Northwest collection. In 1983, the Friends began researching city council candidates' positions on library support and publishing them in the Bookmark, their regular newsletter. That year, the Friends also opened a kiosk in the Central Library to sell note cards, pencils, and supplies. The kiosk, called the Friend Shop and staffed entirely by volunteers, expanded to include gift items. In 1998, the Friends campaigned energetically for the successful Libraries for All capital campaign, speaking to many community, professional, and neighborhood groups and testifying at public hearings. They served as hosts at the reopening of each newly renovated branch library in the Libraries for All campaign. The Friends gave a Cultural Communities grant in 2003 to help the library create a pilot language center in the Beacon Hill branch. The following year, the program expanded to provide cultural programming for Spanish and Vietnamese-speaking patrons.
In 2004, the Friends made a $250,000 gift to help the foundation qualify for a $1 million Kresge matching grant in the capital campaign for the new library. The new Central Library allocated a dedicated space for a permanent Friends shop on level 3. The Friends served as tour guides for the new Rem Koolhaas-designed Central Library when it opened. The Friends received the first Renee B. Fisher Foundation Books for Teachers grant in 2009. Initial participation was slow. Friends had to beg teachers to participate and hand-deliver vouchers to them. Before long, there was a multi-year waiting list. In 2010, there were huge budget cuts in the city, including major cuts for the library, like closing all Sundays and Fridays. They were a little bit bigger cuts than other departments, and so the Friends organized a petition drive, basically saying, don't cut the library's budget more than anything else. At the book sale, the Friends were able to convince hundreds of people to sign, and the council restored a pretty big chunk of the budget. In 2012, the Friends worked to support the library levy. Several board members spoke in front of the city council, which was very receptive. That year, the Friends moved the book sale operation from Magnuson Park to the Washington Talking Book and Braille Library, leasing the second floor. The Friends celebrated their 75th anniversary in 2016, initiating the first Library Totes program, giving a free bag to children who received their first library card. The Friends moved the book sale operation from the Washington Talking Book and Braille Library to a new rented warehouse space in 2018. The 2019 library levy passed with historic approval, 73% voting yes. The Friends contributed $25,000, sent letters of support to Seattle City Council, tabled at library branches, and gave out donuts and sweets and shared talking points. The COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 brought big changes to the Friends, including the end of the huge book sale. For the first time, the Friends annual meeting took place online as a webinar. The Friends survived the pandemic and spent time deeply reflecting on their mission, goals, and priorities. The Joint Advocacy Committee was created in 2021 with members from the Foundation, the Friends, and library leadership. Committee goals included advocating for sustainable library funding, safeguarding and expanding access to opportunity and imagination, and creating a resilient library system. The Friends began to accept book donations from the community members and processed an average of 1,000 books per week. The Friends also began to provide funding support to the annual Summer Book Bingo program. When the library branches started reopening in the summer, the Friends welcomed them back with goodie bags and notes of appreciation. That year, the Friends were asked to provide input when the library board conducted its search for a new director, hiring Tom Fay as executive director and chief librarian. In 2022, the Friends opened a new satellite space in Georgetown, initially holding one pop-up event per month. After relocating to a larger space in 2024, these events grew into weekly book sales. The Friends participated in Lobby Day in Olympia for the first time in 2023, traveling with representatives from the library and the foundation to show support for Seattle's libraries. Which brings us to present day. In 2024, the Friends Shop celebrated its 20th anniversary. Penny Lewis and former board member Joan Abravaya were celebrated as the longest-serving volunteers, 20 years, since the beginning of the modern Central Library Friends Shop. The Books for Teachers program turned 15, with more than 135,000 books provided to over 1,200 teachers to date. The Friends is building our own strategic plan in 2025 to continue supporting the Seattle Public Library. We are excited to see the growing partnership between the Foundation, the Friends, and the library.